Thank you so much for attending today. We are starting our back to school webinar sessions today. Our very first one is getting started with CodeHS. And my name is Leanne Grant. I'm going to be your host for this webinar today. I've been with CodeHS for about 1.5 years. And before that, I was a computer science teacher in the middle school and high school levels for 10 years. So today what we're going to be kind of going over is what are your course goals? So we're doing a very, very condensed version of getting started with CodeHS. And so you have to think about when you're getting started, what are the things I need to know right off the bat? And that's what today is about. If you are more interested in more of a deeper dive, we do have other webinars that we have done in the past that I can direct you to as well after that. And we have longer getting started and longer, deeper dives that we did over the summer. But some of the things that we're going to talk about are, first of all, what are your course goals? What do you need to teach your students? We're going to take a look at the course catalog a little bit. We're going to talk about some pathways, different kinds of courses that we have available. We're going to do a brief overview of setting up courses in sections, and then we're also going to talk briefly about customization. Okay. So before we get started, really quick, if you have a specific question, I have opened up the chat to everybody. There's only 8 people in here right now, as of right now. So, well, 9, it's growing, it keeps growing. And so if you have a question, you can either put it in the chat or you can put it in Q&A. Because this is running kind of small, I'll be checking both places as of right now. Okay, so if you do not have CodeHS currently, I would love for you to sign up. Oops, sorry, not yet. Sign up for an account, a teacher account. We're not going to be joining any specific sections today for this webinar. It's just kind of an overview. If you do already have a CodeHS account, I would love for you to be logged in. Maybe you can either follow along, but if you want the attendance and their certificate of attendance that I can send out, you will have to be logged into CodeHS before I give you that or before you click on it. So if you don't have an account, go ahead and sign up. Otherwise, the links to the slides are right here. We have more people that are joining, so I will go ahead and drop that again. All the links that you're going to need are in these slides. Okay, so either sign in or sign up, and we will go ahead and we're going to continue to get started. So if you are already in CodeHS and signed in, then I'm going to drop this link to you, or like I said, it is in the slides. If you're not quite signed in yet, you can click on that link, and this is a link that you can get a certificate of completion for attending today since you're attending live. Okay, and you will get a 30 minutes certificate of completion. But again, you do have to be signed in to be able to get that to work. So what is CodeHS? For those of you who are completely new, CodeHS is a comprehensive platform for teaching computer science. We have elementary, middle school, and high school curriculum, so all K through 12. It is completely web-based, meaning you don't have to have any additional plugins or downloads or anything like that, with very few exceptions for courses or physical computing or things like that. We have online and offline professional development, and obviously you're here today, so you're taking advantage of our free webinar series for back to school. And we also have a full software platform with teacher tools and resources available to you. Within that platform that I was talking about, we also have instant feedback and submission systems, and which we call auto graders, and there's a lot of different ways that we can grade and submit feedback to our students. We have a lot of grading and tracking tools for teachers, and like I said, again, it is all web-based. So let's go ahead and dive into, like I said, the getting started portion. So we're going to start with choosing a course. So this is kind of just a mixture of some of the courses that we have. It is by no means anywhere near all of the courses that we have available now. We have so many courses available. And the reason that I put this out here is that you can kind of see that we have things in all different areas. We have things for middle school, we have advanced classes, we have video game, we have Python courses, we have coding exploration. So there's a lot of different ways that or different courses that we can choose from, but how do we know which course to choose? You're gonna have to look at your course goals. So let's go over this a little bit. When you're thinking about your course goals, keep in mind a couple different things. Are you looking for an introductory computer science course? So are your students very new to computer science? That could be an option. Do you want to focus on programming or another topic? Do you want to focus on cybersecurity? Do you want to focus on web design? Do you want to focus on AI? There's a lot of different ways or a lot of different courses and different kind of pathways or areas that you can specifically focus on. Also, do you want students to get exposure to a variety of computer science topics? And then you need to think about the difficulty, or do you want it to be difficult? Do you want it to have advanced topics when you're choosing a course? So once you can kind of take each of these and you can't click on, okay, so they all are in the chat or in the somebody said that they can't click on the links in the chat nor copy them. I'm not exactly sure why. But if you are able to, they're just not actionable. See, on my end, they are, and if I click on them, they are, so I do apologize. If you want to, some environments, okay. If you want to open the slides that I had, so the slides are the codehs.com/getting started -CodeHS. All of the links that you need are in those slides. So even if you can't, if you can just type that one in, then you'll have access to all of the links. All right, so after you've thought about or were able to get into the depths of these 4 different categories and figured out where you're gonna go, then you can go a little bit further. So you've identified your course goals, you need to start thinking about what courses meet those goals. So a couple different considerations that we can think about here is timing. Timing is the first one. How much time do you have? Do you have a quarter? Do you have a semester? Do you have a full year? Is it something you need to be able to cover very shortly? Maybe you only have a month. What kind of topics do you want to cover? Is it an overview or a survey of a lot of different computing ideas? Is it an intro to programming like we talked about? The difficulty, again, how difficult are these very beginners, even middle school beginner and a high school beginner still are very different. And then are there specific standards that you need to address? And when we talk about standards, oftentimes we think about state standards. So we have at CodeHS the state standards page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this into the link as well, or into the chat as well. I'm sorry. Or you can type it in if it's not clickable. And once you get to this specific, let me go back here. I want to actually click on that link. You're going to get to something like this. So if you are to click on I'm going to go to Utah. You're going to click on your state. You go to Utah. They have a vertically aligned pathway, some specific courses, and then they also have the standards framework. And this is kind of where I would be directing you to look at that. So this will give you a lot of information of what the course is and then how is it aligned to your state standards. The next thing I want to show you is our course catalog. So once you have determined what you need, we're going to look at the course catalog, and where we're going to get to this course catalog is if you are new to CodeHS, we have kind of an app-based platform now. So under curriculum here, the very first app is course catalog. So if I was to click on course catalog on the left-hand side and it loads, you're gonna see all the different courses that we have available. And so you can do a lot of different things here. You can search by a particular, maybe I wanna put web, and it's going to bring up all the web or web design and web development courses that we have. If I take that out, I can also go by some predetermined tags that we have. I can choose by grade level, high school and middle school. And then I also can choose by specific state. So since I showed you Utah, I'm gonna go down to Utah and you can see the Utah specific courses that we have that are aligned to Utah standards. So it will be different for everyone. So I live in Illinois, I live in central Illinois, and I click on Illinois and there's only one computer science course in Illinois. So, and then we go to different ones. I might go to Texas and, and we have our Texas courses, which are newer here. So that's how you're gonna get around the catalog. Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna talk about specific courses. So I'm gonna go back to all here. Our most popular courses usually come up first, and as you can see, these are introductory courses and then an AP course. So let's talk about some courses, some offerings that we have that would be an option for you. So if you're a middle school teacher, first, we have our most popular, we have 3 different courses that are our most popular. Well, actually 4, but I'm gonna hit on 3. So our most popular first one is Mix and Match Middle School course. So what this is, it is a series of 10 modules. Each module has 10 hours worth of content. All of this can be arranged in any order, meaning mix and match. Now, we do recommend these courses to be for certain grades. Carol Adventures 1 and 2 and Tracy Adventures are those beginner middle grades. And think about our Carol Adventures 1 actually is available in blocked text. So if you have maybe an elementary student coming up that's even seen Scratch, which we have on our platform, you can actually turn on block coding for these students at the 6th grade level for them to get used to the platform and then put them into that text-based coding and programming after that. We have a couple other courses or modules that are specific for 7th and 8th grade. They don't have to be, they're recommendations. And then we have a couple of them that are available for all grades. So you're able to change these out however you want. And then the course overview for the mix and match courses right there at the bottom as well. Now, our 2nd and 3rd most popular courses for middle school take those same modules, but instead of letting you choose which and where you want them, we put specific ones. So we recommend Computer Science Explorations 1 for 6th grade. It does start with Carol Adventures 1, Carol Adventures 2, Exploring Computing, Tracy Adventures, and then Exploring Digital Citizenship. These are the exact same modules that were in the mix and match course. They're just in a specific order for you. Some teachers say, hey, tell me what order I should teach this in and what you recommend, and that's what we've done with these courses. The Computer Science Explorations 2 then would be the same thing. We recommend this at the 7th grade level. And again, it has 5 modules, each with 10 hours of content from that mix and match course as well. We do have lots of other middle school courses. These are some of our newer middle school courses. So we have a Python Basics with Tracy course 1 and 2. So you can see that we have 1, it's a semester long, we have 2, it's a semester long, or we have a full at the top year-long course, which is basically combines that Tracy 1 and Tracy 2 together. We also have a semester-long intro to game design with P5 Play. And then we also have a semester web design course, which is in our Calo flavor. And what that means is that these here just tells us what version of that course it is. Our middle school version is the Calo version. And like I said, we have lots of other middle school courses. If you want to view by grade level, you can go here and then you can see all of the different middle school courses that we have. We have lots of them. Okay, let's move on to high school courses. So we still have 10, we're good, doing good, no questions? Okay, great. Our high school offerings. So at the high school level, the very first one I want to talk about is our AP courses. So our advanced placement courses, we have those two different pathways. So we have our AP CSP. AP Computer Science Principles is what it stands for. We have 4 courses that are all College Board approved. So all you would have to do is submit our syllabus to College Board and it will be automatically approved for you to be able to teach that course. There's nothing else that you have to do. Then we also have a review course that gets students ready for the exam, the AP-CSP exam. So the first 2 AP-CSP courses we have is one is in JavaScript and one is in Python. They're both a year long. They're 125 hours. They are essentially the exact same course, just a different language. And so it really introduces the students to a foundational concepts of computer science in either JavaScript or Python. And it incorporates real world applications and the students are really challenged to explore computing and technology and how it can impact the world. Our third is AP-CSP cybersecurity. So this course introduces students to the foundational concepts of computer science, like we said, but it challenges them in a cybersecurity version. And so this material is actually based on the National Cybersecurity Training and Education, so it's NSITE and the NSF grant. This one you can see it is a year long, but it also is 135 contact hours, so it has a little bit more content here. Our fourth and newest one this year is AP-CSP in Roblox. Yes, I said Roblox. Our students are going to love this. So AP-CSP in Roblox is one of those ones that I talked about that you may have to have additional content, plugins, those kind of things. So this is one of those courses. So students utilize Roblox Studio and Lua, and they're going to learn the programming concepts. They build games and build worlds in Roblox, and they're really encouraged to use Roblox for their performance task assessment then at the end of the course. And they will explore all of the concepts through computing concepts through the Roblox simulations in this one. Finally, our AP-CSP review is 15 contact hours, and like I said, it is definitely a review before the exam. Moving on to AP-CSA, we have 2 course options, AP-CSA Nitro and Mocha. So our Nitro course is the one that is the most aligned with the College Board's way of teaching things. Okay, so it is again fully aligned. They learn the basics and focus on problem solving and algorithms and everything. Both of them are designed to prepare the students for the AP test, but most teachers do use the Nitro version. Then we have our 20 contact hours of APCS labs that is required for any APCSA course. And then again, we have a review here at the end for that as well. Okay, so the question is that when they viewed their state page, they see CodeHS curriculum is free. I teach a high school AI course in Mississippi. Does this mean I have free access to the pro license? No. What this means is all of our curriculum is free. You can teach from our platform absolutely free. You have all of the content for the students. The pro license then is something that you can add on for teacher tools and resources. And so you do not need to have that. You will have all the slides available within and all the videos available within the curriculum. And you can see those as a student and on the teacher side. Okay. Let's keep going on. We have our introductory courses. So we have an introduction to computer science and JavaScript and an introduction to Python programming. And then we have an introduction to Java, which is our latte course. If students want to go or teachers want to go that way instead. So we have a couple other pathways and courses. So one of the things I always like to share is our K through 12 pathways page. Now, if you have a specific state that you want to go through their pathways, you can do that. But we have a general pathways page that I just shared. No, the Nitro does not have the APCSA labs built in. It does indicate in the curriculum where the labs do best fit in, yes, but they are not included in the curriculum. That way, if you wanted to only put in some of them, you could do that as well. So some of our other pathways options, we have a Python pathway for our high school. So in the high school Python pathway, we have 4 different courses in that, and you can see a year long, a semester, and a month. And that last one is applications of AI and machine learning. That's one of our very absolutely new courses in our Python pathway. We have a web development pathway where students are able to take web design and then an intro to JavaScript course. And this is our Corgi is our very new course. And it is a full year long course as well. Then you get into web development, and that builds on web design and the intro to computer science and JavaScript. And then finally, we have a mobile apps in that one as well. Finally, we have our cybersecurity pathway, which starts with web design, goes into fundamentals of cybersecurity, APCSP cybersecurity, and then we have an advanced cybersecurity course as well. We have some physical computing courses if you're interested in that. We have our middle school Intro to Physical Computing in Microbit, and then we also have our high school Intro to Physical Computing in Arduino. So both of these courses have integrated courses available. So you can do an integrated Carol or Tracy course or an integrated Python and JavaScript course available for the high school. We also have Hour of Code available. Most of these are 1 hour, a couple of them are 2 hours, but this is something that you can find in the course catalog under the tag Hour of Code. These are pre-made, very short lessons. Maybe it's a day, it's Pi Day, or maybe you want to integrate something on a day that you're kind of in the middle of a curriculum and you're right before break and you don't want to start something else. You can always add an Hour of Code activity as well. Okay, so that's about our courses. We're kind of running short here. I knew it was only half an hour and I'm trying to go fast. So I'm going to show you, first of all, how to set up a course and how to set up a section. Okay, and again, you can come back to these slides at any time. I will record this and you can watch this afterwards as well. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is creating a course. So on the left-hand side here, under assignments, we have courses. So if I was to click on courses, this shows all the courses that I have available here. Obviously, I can create a new course by going here or create a new course by going here. What I will then do is choose 2 different options. You can either choose from a course template, meaning it's a course that we already have in our course catalog, or you can build one from scratch, okay? And keep in mind that you can edit adding, removing, or editing assignments from the one in the course catalog. So after you choose one of these, you will actually be asked to choose a name for your course. Our courses are our curriculum. So think about that. It's the textbook that you're using. So if I'm going to create a course from scratch and it's a Python course, I'm definitely going to call it Intro to Python or Advanced Python or something like that. Okay, you want to keep it very general, because you can have a lot of class periods that are using the same course. And then this is kind of just a little example of how to do that. The next thing you would need to know is creating a section. So our sections, if you think about sections as our class periods, you can have a lot of sections using the same course or same content. Okay, just like if an English 1 teacher is teaching 4 sections of English 1, they're going to be teaching the same thing. So when we create a section, we're going to go under grading here. I'm sorry, we're going to go under classroom. Sorry, I went up. And then we're going to go to sections. And you're going to create a new section here or a new section here. If using a template, how can we hide lessons so students don't jump far ahead? I plan on adding, you can actually lock them in the section. I can show that very quickly when we are in assignments here in the assignments app. And I am actually, I would have to go in, that's on the courses actually. I'm gonna go into this course specifically. I'm gonna go in, well, why is it not doing it? No, it's under assignments. Oh, it's under configure, it changed. Okay, so we have a new navigation, it's under the configure app. So if I was to go to configure here, okay, there's a couple different things that I can do. So I can lock this. And now if a student was to try to view this, they would not be able to view this whole module. You can open this up and you can lock it by specific lesson, activity, or module, and then they would not be able to move ahead. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so we were talking about creating new sections. So I'm gonna go to sections here. I'm gonna go to new section. And you're going to name this, or you can import directly from Google Classroom if you have that set up. What this means is this is a class period. And so what I really recommend at this point is this is most likely going to be your class period. I'm sorry that we're going a little bit over. Thank you for joining. It will most likely be a class period. So period 1, period 2, period 3, something like that. Okay. Now you can create as many sections as you need within a course. Okay. So you have one of 3 options when you're creating a section. You can choose a course that you already have. You can choose a course from the course catalog that you haven't even customized yet, or you can start from scratch, just like we did from the other one, and you can do this here. So that's the workflow that you will have when you create a new section. We will have class codes available. What the class code is when you're in your roster view here, I'm in my sections, and you can see that this says roster here. I'm in a section, I have a class code here, but if I go to invite, I also can see that I have a link I can give my students, or some teachers like to send them out to students before the semester or year starts. You can actually input emails here and you can have them send emails to the students as well. To manage the sections, what the manage sections means is that you can see all your students here, their emails, their usernames, and then you can set their preferred language between English and if they forget their password, you can change it here, and then they'll be prompted to change it again. So customization, I know we're at 4:30. If you need to go ahead. It will be recorded and sent out. For customization, what we're looking at is we're customizing the course content itself. So we have the option to be able to reorder modules. So I'm going to go back into one of my courses here, and I'm going to show you what this looks like here. So when I'm in assignments here, I can move things around. So if I was to go to edit, you see these dots come up here, and I can move this now to be here, and I just move the modules. So you can move any modules within the course, okay? You can also do the same with lessons. If you're over here, you can move to a different module, or you can move it down. Or if I click on maybe the 3rd one, it'll ask me if I want to move it up or down. So you can move the lessons within the module as well, the order. Now they are in a suggested order, so just be careful on the way that you're doing that as well. The next thing we can do is we can remove content. So also, again, be careful in removing content. I would rather you hide the content or lock it than remove it, but it's completely up to you. If you know you're never going to get to a specific thing, you can go to a specific lesson, and it doesn't matter which one it is. let's just say this exercise, I don't want it in here. I'm going to go to here and I'm going to go to remove. And it will actually remove it from the course, meaning every single class period will not be able to see that anymore. Okay, so that's, if you just think you're doing it for one class, it's going to be for every section that you created of that course. The next thing you can do is you can assign content from the course catalog. So if we're here and we want to add something, I can go to a CodeHS course specifically. You can add blank stuff if you wanted to do your own as well. Let's just say I wanted to add something from a different course. I want to add something from this web development course. I want to go and I want to add this specific lesson. When I go back up here and I press assign, now, when I go and I refresh this, if I go all the way to the bottom, you can see that this was now added at the very bottom of my course. Then I can move it wherever I want to within the course. So you're able to add any other content that you want. This just shows you can also add content from our project catalog. So our project catalog are pre-made projects that we have for you. You can go through and you can view them. You can assign them to your students as well. And then you also can add any kind of supplemental materials. So at the very bottom of a course, under search for content, a lot of times there is, and not specifically in this course because I'm in the middle school course, but let's go to a different course so I can show you. Let's do this one. This is an old course, but if I was to go down to the bottom, you can see supplemental materials. And a lot of our courses have this. All you have to do then is go in and assign. You can assign this midterm, maybe you want to assign this here, you know, this specific project, but you can preview everything before you assign it as well. We also have practice problems. So across the top here, we have practice. So if I was to click on practice, these are specific to languages. So because I'm on Python right now, I'm going to click on JavaScript just so you can see it's different. We have different levels, so strings level 1 and strings level 2. These are practice items that you can assign to your students. So I can click on this just to view it, so I can see what it is, or I can click over here and I can assign, and then it's going to ask me which course do I want to assign it to, and then which specific section or where do I want to put it in there. So these are extra practice. It could be for students who are struggling. It could be for students who need an extra challenge. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this. Then we have the assign button. You also can create your own content. Just know that you can input and add from scratch those ones that you can do free response questions. You can add in screencasting or Google Draw, or you can make a choice board and add it in. You can put some kind of polling app like a Slido in there. You can put a Kahoot or a Quizzes or a Quizlet, or you can create your own CodeHS quiz. All of that is available to you in the course. When you do add, go back to assignments here. If I go to add and I put in a blank assignment, it's going to ask me the assignment type, where this is. I'm going to create it, and then it's going to ask me what kind of type I want to enter. Okay, so you're able to enter and input a lot of your own content into the course as well, if you would wish. Don't have to, it's up to you. You can also add your own modules, like I said, your own lessons, and your own, we can fork quizzes. What forking means on our platform is, let me find a quiz here. What forking means is that it creates a copy, and it creates an editable copy. So I can go in and I can fork a lot of different things, but when I fork something, it says, oh, sure, you want to fork, the original assignment will stay in the course and the new assignment will be created. So if I fork something, I can create my own. And now you can see you have this edit button, and I can go in here and you can change the quiz. You can create new questions. There's a lot of different options that you can do with forking assignments and forking quizzes. All right, So very quickly, we're only 7 minutes over. I'm so sorry that it went so fast, but it is only an overview. If you need to get support in the platform, there are a couple different ways to do that. On the platform itself, you always have this blue button at the lower right. This will actually bring up actual people. This is Gareth and Mac and Israel, and you can send us a message and it goes to these direct people who are on here. The other option is at the very bottom, we have a support category, and you can go to our knowledge base, you can request a quote, you can go to our support center, go to our community. There's a lot of different things that you can do here under the support tab as well. All right, if you're interested in learning more about CodeHS and you do not currently have it at your school, I have one more link I will drop, or you can click on the sides. And I want to tell you, thank you so much for attending today. I hope you had a great day. And if there's no more questions, I will see you guys later. Thank you.